Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is Brandon, aka the MAMBA Investor. And as you can tell from the title of this video, we are going to be discussing how to vet title companies / closing attorneys. Let's go. Let's jump right into this video. So there is nothing worse than working with a bad title company / closing attorney. Now, as you guys know, or if you don't know, when closing deals, when you're wholesaling real estate and you're closing deals, you need to find out if your state is a title company state or a closing attorney state. Meaning, in different parts of the country, and depending on what state you're in, sometimes a title company can close real estate transaction, or in some states, a real estate closing attorney will do the closings or handle real estate transactions. And in some states, you can use one or the other. Here in New Jersey, we are a title company or closing attorney state, so we can use either or. So for the sake of this video, you need to Google or do some research and find out how or what entity you should be using to close real estate, aka your wholesale deals. Now let's get right into it. Now, like I said, there's nothing worse than working with a bad title company. Now, this does not have to happen. It doesn't. You as the investor, or you as the person that's going to be closing deals, you should be vetting these title companies and the closing attorney that you are going to work with. And in this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips on the questions that you should be asking when you're talking or interviewing or vetting the title company that you're going to be working with or the closing attorney that you're going to be working with. So let's get right into tip number 1. Ask them, are they investor friendly? And what you mean by that when you ask them this question is basically, have they worked with investors? And not have they, do they work with investors? Meaning this is an ongoing thing. So you want to dive deep and make sure that they are currently and actively working with other investors in your market. Not a onesie twosie, yeah, I did a one deal last year with an investor. No, dig deep and be specific when you ask them, are they investor friendly? And say, hey, do you on a continuous basis work with investors? So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, are you familiar with assignments? So you know, as we as wholesalers, when we link up the seller and the buyer, we receive what is called an assignment fee, right? So that's your fee for bringing the two partners together and getting the deal done. So you need to ask your closing attorney or this title company that you're interviewing prior to sending them a deal, ask them, are you familiar with assignments? So if they have worked with investors, I'm pretty sure that they have worked with wholesalers for the most part. And it may not be true, but this is the reason why you're having this interview or this conversation with the title company or the closing attorney. So again, tip number 2, ask them, are you familiar with assignments? And you can explain to them what wholesaling is in layman's terms. And again, well, not again, but if you have to explain to them what wholesaling is, I can tell you right now, that's a red flag. That's not the title company or the closing attorney that you should be working with. You don't want to school these guys and trying to train them on how to do a wholesale deal or how to close a wholesale deal. No, that's not your guy. So that's tip number 2. Let's get to tip number 3. Tip number 3. How long does it take you to run title? This is very important. Again, there's nothing worse than working with a slow or AKA bad title company or closing attorney. This is what kills deals. If a title company takes forever to run a title search and get back a commitment, and a commitment is basically telling everybody, the seller and the buyer, what is needed to close the deal to get clean title or to get title insurance. So that's basically what a commitment is in a high level overview, right? So when they run a search, basically what they're doing is they're running a background check on the property and the seller to make sure that there's no encumbrances against the property and or judgments or liens or anything against the property or the seller. So if it takes them 3 weeks to do this, this is not the title company or the closing attorney you should be working with. Because guys, you have to remember that the sellers that we're working with, they are selling their properties pennies on the dollar, meaning that they need this money for whatever reason immediately. And one of the points that we bring up to the seller, or a selling point that we bring to the seller, is that we're able to close fast. So we need to have people on our team, aka the title company or the closing attorney, that knows this, right? And they operate accordingly. That you cannot be sitting out here for 3 weeks waiting for a title report to come back. So this is very important and key to your success in getting the deal completed to the finish line. How long does it take for you to run title? That's number 3. So number 4, let's jump into question number 4 that you should be asking. How fast does it take you to close a cash deal? Now, this is when you explain to them your business model. We are wholesalers / investors. We have a commitment to our sellers to normally close in less than 30 days, and we need to have this deal completed. So ask the title company and or the closing attorney, hey, Mr. Attorney, hey, Mrs. Title Company, seeing that we are doing a cash deal, there's no lenders involved, there's no mortgages involved. If we are doing a straight cash deal, how long does it take for you to get this to the closing table for me? And this is aside from any issues that have to be cleared. You're just trying to give them a sunny day scenario, that there's no issues, there's no encumbrances that need to be cleared up, there's no judgments, there's no liens. This is a straight cash deal and that there's no issues. How long will it take you to get me to the closing table? If they say longer than 30 days, this is not the title company for you. We like to push for 20 days because we normally promise our sellers that we can close in 20 days or less. So these are the requirements that we put forth to our title company. We let them know, hey, or the title companies that we want to work with, we let them know that, hey, we need to close in 20 days or less. From the time that we submit a new order to you, we need to be closed 20 business days later or sooner. So again, that's question number 4. How fast can you close a cash deal? All right, got it? Good. Let's get to the step or the question number 5. What is your response time? And let me explain to you what I mean by response time. Most of the time, you're going to be communicating with your title company or your closing attorney via email. And you need to understand that if I'm a client of yours, and this is, again, the question that you should be asking them, if I'm a client of yours, understanding the sensitivity of our files that we, or the deals that we send to you, being that they need to close, pretty quickly, how soon or how fast do you respond to emails? Now, listen, guys, we understand that we are not their only clients. We're not trying to throw these guys underneath the bus and try to make it seem like we have to be catered to or we have to get first preference and things like that. Listen, these title companies and closing attorneys, they have multiple files, probably hundreds of files on their desk that they have to work through. So we have to have empathy and things like that. But again, this is the reason why you're trying to get down to the bottom of it and make sure that these guys understand the sensitivity of these deals that you're bringing to them. So again, you need to ask them, what is your response time? And generally speaking, we normally give the title company at least 24 hours to respond to emails that we send them, whether it's we're getting them documents that they're requested, or we're asking them questions on updates on where we're at in the title search or in the process of the deal. How much longer do we have? Or the seller may have a question that we're asking, or they may ask the title company or the buyer, so on and so forth. We at least give them 24 hours to respond. And if they tell you that, hey, listen, it depends on how busy we are, or it depends, we'll get back to you when we're able to get back to you. This is not the company or the closing attorney that you should be working with. Again, this is not the title company or the closing attorney that you should or be working with. So that's that. So again, guys, those are the 5 tips. Let's do a brief recap. Question number 1 that you should be asking your title company or your closing attorney that you're vetting and thinking about bringing on your team. Number 1, are you investor friendly? Right? Tip number 2, or question number 2, are you familiar with assignments of contracts? Number 3, how long does it take you to run a title search or run title? Tip number 4, question number 4, how fast can you close a cash deal? Ask them this. How quick can you close a cash deal? And again, you're giving them a sunny day scenario. Every deal is different. Every deal may have, some deals may have issues, some deals may not. But again, you're just trying to get an answer from them on a sunny day scenario. How long is it going to take you if there's no issues? And make sure you say that. If there's no issues with title, how quick can you close a cash deal? And make sure you let them know that there's no lenders, there's no mortgages, none of that is involved. It's a straight cash deal. All right, that's number 4. Number 5, what is your response time? Very key, very important. How long does it take you to respond to our inquiries or our questions or our concerns? Anything that we send to you via email or a phone call, how long does it take you to respond? All right. So guys, I hope that provided you a level of clarity on how you should be picking a title company or a closing attorney. These guys are your partners in crime. These are your guys. They're just I look at them as an extension of my team. And if I cannot complete or deliver on what we have promised to our sellers, we look bad. So again, you need to have people that are on your team and they understand your business model and what you're trying to do. So guys, I hope that this provided you a level of information. Please like, subscribe, click that notification button to be notified when we send out new videos. All right, guys, be safe, be good, get those deals. Let's go.